We are on the Aunties Dandelion podcast, which celebrates the act of visiting with our beloved community members and artists. And we're focused on revitalizing stories through land, language, and relationships. I'm Loren Waters. I'm a Cherokee and Kiowa filmmaker based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you to the Indigenous Screen Office for supporting this podcast. I'm excited for you all to hear this conversation between Dana Tiger and I as we dive into the film Tiger, which is about her and her family story, the Tiger Art Gallery. We talk about Joy Harjo and Dana and Joy's upcoming collaboration. We talk about Dana's role in reservation dogs and her work at her nonprofit. And just my deep appreciation for the Aunties Dandelion and giving emergent aunties the opportunity to collaborate and talk to our elder aunties who are really inspiring and doing incredible work. I'm here with Dana Tiger, and Dana Tiger is an award-winning, internationally acclaimed artist. And she's a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation and is of Seminole and Cherokee descent. Dana was just 5 years old when her father, legendary artist Jerome Tiger, passed away. She turned to his art as a way to know him, and that engagement, coupled with the tutelage of her uncle, Johnny Tiger Jr., exposed Dana to both the richness of her culture and the bounty of her family's artistic tradition. Best known for her watercolors and acrylic paintings depicting the strength and determination of Native American women, Dana's paintings now hang in galleries, universities, Native American institutions, and state buildings nationwide. In recognition of her accomplishments, Dana was inducted into the Oklahoma Women's Hall of Fame in 2001. She has some incredible family members, too, who we're going to talk a little bit about today. Her daughter, Christy, studied at Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Dana Tiger's son, Leeson, is an award-winning sculptor, and he attended Northeastern State University. And Dana's husband, Donnie Blair, their children, and grandchild, Aiden Jerome, manage the Tiger Art Gallery in Muscogee, Oklahoma. And if you haven't been there yet, please stop by the Tiger Art Gallery. Get yourself some prints from the incredible Tiger family. And then in 2002, Dana and her family founded the Legacy Cultural Learning Community, which is a nonprofit with the mission of nurturing creativity within Native youth via the celebration and sharing of tribal languages and culture through the arts. So you can check out their art on their website, which is tigerartgallery.com. I am just really honored to be here today with Dana Tiger. So Dana, would you like to say hello?
Hello, I'm thrilled to be here on my first podcast.
This is Dana's first podcast. And where are we in the world right now?
We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Muscogee Reservation.
Yep, we're on Muscogee Creek Nation Reservation. So I love the fact that Tulsa is within these reservation lands. And it was something that we've known for a long time, but didn't, I guess, become official to the federal government until recently with the McGirt decision at the Supreme Court level. But your family has really deep roots here. And do you have any stories from when your family came here, or have they always lived in Muscogee since the removal?
Well, we, of course, came from the homelands, Alabama and Georgia, but my family grew up in Eufaula and Muscogee. And my Muscogee side, my dad, who's full-blood Creek Seminole, and then my mom was Cherokee. We grew up in Muscogee, when Dad and Mom got married. There's so much history, so much that I don't even know. But in your being, that's why I'm not a historian or anything. But my mom kind of was becoming one, but she passed away. But she loved history, and she knew all of it, and just she has a history room in our house, and that was her favorite room. Yeah, I get have it in my DNA, all the struggles from the homeland, and I've done a painting that I'm really quite thrilled, proud of, that deals with the homeland and the new land that we live on now.
What's the title of that painting?
It's so funny. Irene Complicated. I guess it's like a self-portrait. Because my name is Dana Irene. They named me Irene after the aunt that really hated me. I mean, she didn't hate me, but I don't think she understood me. But
Misunderstood.
I don't even think she's really my aunt, but I was named after her. So the Irene Complicated, I went back to the homeland a few years ago and walked on the mounds. And my gosh, what a trip. So it was just like an amazing few days. And then I came back home to our gallery space, which is in I think of it as the center of the universe. It's our Tiger Gallery. My mom and uncle bought and opened the Tiger Gallery where it is now in this one spot, and then they bought the land next to it, just empty acreage, you know. And so within that spot, I made this circle because I want to build like a mound there. Because when I went back to my homeland at Muscogee Mounds, there's that space where there's that mound that the door opens and the sun shines in there twice a year in this one direct location, and it lights up the spot inside that mound, the doorway and the light. And that time is October 22nd and February 22nd. So I slept out in my field so I could be there when the sun rose, and then my son helped me align these cedar logs right in the pathway of that sun coming up through it. So forever and ever now, the time that I went back to the homeland, and brought it back to Muscogee, Oklahoma, our new homeland, I painted that sun coming up. And then over here in real life on that day, the full moon was going down. And it was just so powerful. And it still is, and it always will be. And it's just a circle. And inside the circle, I go in there and I pray, you know, and it's a powerful spot. And it will always be there.
And where are the homelands for the Muscogee Creek people?
Alabama and Georgia. Oh, and that's where I saw the pottery. I saw the pictures that I had taken on that trip. I saw a pot that said, Irene Complicated. That's the name of the pot. And so I said, dang, wild. And so I named the painting that. Perfect.
I love that. And I've seen the mound that you built at the gallery, and it's really special and beautiful. And also the room that your mom made in the house that is super organized with all of her historical, things that she was researching before she passed. And I love how all these things are connected. And how did we meet?
The God of the universe, Sterling Harjo, brought us together.
True, he did. He did. I think he shared your number with me.
Oh, did he?
To reach out to you for reservation dogs to be in the show. And I was kind of nervous because I had heard about you and just how well-known you were in the community. And I reached out to you and I was like, wow, she is so nice. And so we just became friends after that.
Gosh darn, you came to the gallery and I have hardly a good memory, but maybe it's the Parkinson's, I don't know. But I remember you coming there and helping me clean up that ratty place. Because I was having an event or something, and you just came, and people were dropping by like crazy visiting, and I was thinking, wow. I mean, we haven't been open for a while, and then that day, wham, everybody started coming in. It was like they were being drawn there like a magnet, and me and you, we were there and just cleaning and having a good time, and that began our friendship.
It did. I don't even know what really drew me to come help. I know that I was there and wanted to help make the gallery clean and like a special place
isn't
again.
That wild, though, that you would just come there? I mean, knowing you now, I can see it all, but wow, that's just amazing,
Yeah, we got down and dirty that day for sure.
And it looked great, didn't it?
Yeah, now it looks really great. I think the gallery will just continue to improve.
It will.
And your family has such an interesting story. I would love to hear, for people who don't know, you talk about the Tiger Art Gallery, how it started, and I guess what challenges you faced as a family that created hardships for it.
Yeah, my mother, truly, she was just an amazing, powerful woman. And when she'd get something in her head, she would work so hard to make it happen. She had these sayings, they would embody work hard, from when you get up to when you go to bed. And I don't know how she did it, but she created an art company in my father's name. And when he passed away, I was 5, Lisa was 2, and Chris was just born 2 weeks old. She had me when she was 18, so I don't know, do the math, but that's very young. I was 5 years old, and Dad was gone. It wasn't long after that, she started the Jerome Tiger Art Company. And what she did was take his art, which was truly genius art. They'd call him Michelangelo, and because he was that good, just self-taught.
I'm just shocked at what he was able to create by the age of 26. Because when I was 26, I'm scrambling to figure out my life even now. But as a 26-year-old to create.
Aren't you 26 now?
No.
Oh.
I'm older than that.
Okay.
Thanks. I look young.
Yeah.
But your dad painted so many paintings and sculpted art for museums and had so much already created by the time he passed away at 26.
Right. And they said that, I was a little child, and I remember crawling around on him while he was trying to paint, because I was a mischief child deluxe, and he could be doing the masterpieces with me crawling on his back. And they say that he drew and painted so fast that his hand was like a blur. You just see the hand moving, and wham, just a few minutes later, he's got this masterpiece there. And he never erased. And if he thought he didn't like something, he tossed it in the trash. He was a master sculptor. And when he do sculptures and that would be just invaluable now, he'd take them for target practice and shoot them.
And your son got that skill. He's an incredible. Leeson is so good at sculpting.
Just born with it, man.
It's wild. We sat there, we filmed Leeson sculpting for, 15 minutes. And within 2 or 3 minutes, he's already got something that's beautiful, crafted in his hands with clay. And then he'll just mash it all up back into a ball. And I'm like, wow, you're just so talented.
I know it. I took him to the Five Tribes Museum in Muscogee, where my dad, upstairs, they had bought the almost life-size sculpture of a stickball player that he was working on in the garage behind the house where we lived in Muscogee. And then he passed away and didn't get to finish the hand. But it's a masterpiece. It's a centerpiece of the museum upstairs in Muscogee at Honor Heights Hill. I took my son in there one time, and he always had a piece of clay in his hand. He'd always just kind of be molding it. I forget how old he was. He's in grade school. And we go up there and see that sculpture, and he's up there looking at it and got that clay in his hand, and then he's molding that sculpture himself, and he's got the neck and the back and the muscles, and this little piece of clay he's working with, it looks just like Daddy's. Mm-hmm. And I started crying. Tears started, and he never would like to see me upset, so I didn't let him see me crying, but I was crying with just happiness, and amazement, and it just was an unforgettable time that I always hold with me, because that kid has that flowing in his blood, just natural.
Yeah. So if he was 26 when he passed, what year was that?
67.
It was 1967. And when we went to Santa Fe Indian Market this year, talking to some artists out there, they would bring up your dad and how they would see paintings, a decade later or many years after he had passed that were influenced by your dad's work. And for me, being a young person and not knowing the full history of the Tiger Art family and Jerome and his impact on the art world, but he, just really made a statement, made an impact beyond his life. And so your mom wanted to honor that and also create a way for you all to, have sustainability within your family. So whenever she did that and she was selling prints of his art in the gallery, what else came from that?
She was a businesswoman and just wanted to work all the time and could do anything. I mean, that woman started reading when she's like 3 years old or something, made a poem that's unbelievable when she was 5. She had a list of books, top 500 books, her favorite 500. Who has a list of 500 books? But she's so brilliant because of all the knowledge, I guess, that was in her head from all that reading, maybe. Uncle Daddy's older brother stepped in after Dad died and helped raise us kids all that time. She and he bought that building for the art gallery. Uncle would draw on T-shirts, and people would just go crazy. He'd just whip out something on a T-shirt. And so she got the idea that we would learn how to press, his art onto shirts. And so, we started out with one color and it just grew from there. And then it turned out to be a business that JCPenney, we were their top #1 minority business supplier in the world. And so they were just selling shirts like crazy. And the family worked together and they had double shifts, worked around the clock in that gallery. Everything was beautiful and perfect when Mom was alive, And Chris was back there, Lisa was back there, all the crazy people that were our friends were back there. I mean, it was just, I've heard people say, that's the best time of their lives, many times over. The most thrilled they've ever been hanging out at the Tiger Gallery and working there, and quite a story. And
you were not in the back silk screening.
No, I was up in the air conditioner. Being a stuck-up artist, I guess that's what somebody said. I was trying to become an artist. Well, had already made the decision to try to be an artist, and I was working on that, And so I sold my work. Lisa would frame it, Matt and frame it, and then they'd sell my work, Chris's work, uncles. Uncle Tony, we'll just call him Uncle. That's Johnny Tiger Jr.
Yep.
But he was uncle to everybody.
Yep, he's uncle to me now.
Uh-huh, yeah. And so we had that thriving business. It was just amazing, wonderful.
And I'm wearing a Tiger T-shirt right now.
Fancy Dancer.
Yep, it's called Fancy Dancer. Yep. It's an original Tiger T-shirt. It has the
Tiger logo,
Tiger label on the back that they hand sewed in, hand silk screened. And whenever I wear these shirts, I always think, Chris probably touched this shirt, and I'll be on eBay or Etsy, and the people sell them on there. I try to go get the originals.
That's awesome.
You're bringing it back now. Everybody stay tuned for a short documentary film called Tiger that is a 12-minute film highlighting Dana Tiger and the Tiger Art Gallery and the resurgence of the iconic Tiger tee. And the film highlights this story, and I was really excited through, just the process of filming, but the fact that I got to work with you on a film and the fact that these T-shirts are making a comeback. The film isn't out yet, but we'll have a film festival premiere in 2025. People have asked already, I can't wait until the Tiger tees are back. I want one. So I just send them the website because you guys do have one style that's available online. You have two.
And we're getting ready to do the third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two Shields is the next one that they're going to do. They're going to silk, and they hand silk screen them, and it supports, their business and their livelihood as artists. So I want to talk about the film for a second. Whenever we came out to shoot, so Robert Hunter, he's our cinematographer and he's my partner. We had a camera package in between shoots, and we wanted to take advantage of being able to use this camera. We had become friends at this time, and I was like, I've always wanted to shoot something with Dana. I don't know what it is yet. I honestly didn't know the depths of your family story yet, or you had told me some things, but it hadn't fully internalized. But I was like, let's see if Dana wants to film something. And whenever Robert and I went out there with all that gear, we came in the gallery, and that was the first day that you guys were silk screening again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you and Lisa, remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is so crazy that on any day we could have came. And it wasn't like that was planned, that was the first day you were going to silk screen. So what was that like for you, that first day, having it up again in that new room that Donnie, your husband, built for it and everything?
I know. I'm just so impatient. I'm trying to crack the whip on those people all the time. And Donnie he's so makes things right. We weren't going to be able to start the T-shirt business till he had that room built in the center of our gallery, the only clean, nice room in the gallery. Yeah, so he had to finish that room. And then that day y'all came in. It's just so perfect. I mean, it's the beginning of the new beginning, And I mean, it is powerful. It is so powerful because that's how we're going to take care of ourselves for the rest of the time, Not to mention that, Lisa's sculptures and, Christy's art and all the stuff and your filmmaking. I mean, I have adopted you. You're mine.
She's promised me some land, so I'm in the family now.
Yeah, she's going to be living on the tiger land because she's a tiger. Yeah, it was just very, very powerful. And y'all filmed me in my circle. It's not a mound yet, but it's a circle. Something about you, you knew what to do, came in and did it, and are still doing it, and will always do it. You're a tough one. You and Donnie both. I asked Donnie to marry me, and he was a tough one too. He said yes.
He's tough.
And he's
tough.
still with me. What is it, 3 years later?
Yeah, he's done a lot for your family, so we had to put him in the film.
Because you know what he said at first? He said, "Oh, Dana Tiger, single mother raises everyone and her only son and the grandchild."
And this is why it's important to include your collaborators or the people that you're making a film about through the process, because I want to just take an approach that you're with me every step of the way when we're making this film. And whenever we sent you that cut, that was one of the notes that...
I didn't even think about it, though. Donnie's the one who's, Dan, a single mother raises...
Yeah, but it's valid because it's an important thing to add into the film so that the audience doesn't get confused that you did this on your own, because we are community-based and your family is a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so...
I couldn't have done anything. Donnie, first of all, stepped in to save my life back in the day. Because do you know Donnie and Chris have the same birthday? July 29th, and Donnie never got to meet Chris, but I met Donnie that year that Chris was killed, and Donnie has stood behind me every step of the way. Yeah, Donnie's my rock.
Yeah, and I want to talk about these shirts for a second because they're not just any shirts. Back in the 80s, there was not Indian art on t-shirts back at the time. And this is before social media, this is before internet, and for these shirts to be screen printed with tiger art, with Indian art, and being sold internationally across the world at this rate was unheard of at the time. There were some other artists doing similar things in different parts of Indian country, but every time I talk to people about these shirts, they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember those, and I think I have one of those like hidden back in the closet." And yeah, these shirts are really special to our community. So we're gonna have our own shirt for the film that we're gonna release whenever it comes out and sell those. And I know Robert wants to sell hats because he's a big hat person with Uncle's logo on it. So we're making plans for that.
Uncle was a big hat person. He had 1,000 million hats.
He had so many hats.
All those hats?
Yeah, so many hats. And I want to share the story about your car, your first car, because we didn't include it in the film, but it's one of my favorite stories that just kind of shows how how well you guys were doing at the time. A lot of Native people, because of the history of what we've been through, don't start with a lot of resources. And so whenever you told me the story, I'm like, this paints a picture for me of how successful this company was. And it was important that, maybe you guys were spoiled, but you had what you needed. And, I would have given my kids what they wanted if I had the resources at that time as well. So tell us that story.
Jeez. Okay. So I'm the firstborn of all the tiger grandchildren and the firstborn of mom and dad. And so I turned 16 on December 9th, whatever year that was. Oh, it must have been 76 because I got to go into the Ford dealership, pick out a Thunderbird. I got to order it because they didn't have anything that I wanted on the lot. So I said, I want a black Thunderbird with red pinstripe with red leather seats. And so we ordered that sucker on my birthday. Man. And then when I got it, it came in a couple of months later. Uncle painted Dana on one side and Tiger on the other with a feather in the back, like our Tiger logo,
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I thought I was so cool.
What a dream. And then your family also, not just you, but your other sibling, or Lisa got
a Cadillac, Eldorado Cadillac. And Chris got the Cougar.
And then your uncle also had many cars.
Oh, heck, Uncle would go pay cash for cars. He saved money better than any bank in the world. He was very frugal. Dad was the opposite. Dad cared nothing about money. Dad would just give it all away. Mom had to start taking charge of the money at one point because Dad didn't give a crap about money, you know. And I think I'm kind of the same way because I never have any money, but I make money. And my kids, you know, I'm just forking it over. We all still live together. I love it that way.
Yeah, that's special. It's important to give to your kids.
Yeah, my son watched the film the other day, and I had said in the film, I said, and I never wanted kids. And he said, I didn't know that. There's a lot you don't know and that you don't need to know.
But you got Lisa and you got Christy and
it's because of Mom. Mom told me I had to have kids.
Yeah, and it's because of the way that the events unfolded in your life. Because with your brother and with Lisa, you know,
Chris
tell us
wanted
what
a big
happened.
family. Chris wanted kids in a big family. He had a fiance, and Lisa wanted a lot kids too. They both did. And then Lisa thought she was never going to get to have any because she had gotten HIV and later AIDS. And Chris was gone, you know. He couldn't have any children. So in honor of Chris and Lisa, that's what my life flowed that way. Oh, my gosh, I'm so awesome. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, they directed my life.
Yeah, and so now that we're at this point of the story, for the audience, can you tell us what happened to Chris, you know, with what you think is appropriate to share?
Well, it's a terrible thing. He was shot and killed on May 9th, 1990, in a place he had never been before, with people he'd never hung out with. Just happened to be in a place where someone had a gun and decided to use it on Chris for their own reasons. Chris had no idea that was going to happen. What I had heard and he had stepped out on the porch to relieve himself, and he came back in, and then the gun was raised. They ended my brother's life for no good reason. I know they thought they had their reasons, but they were not good reasons. That story will be talked about or has been talked about, but Chris was just beloved. If they would have stopped and talked to him, he would have given them everything he had. He was generous and kind, and they did that, and they changed our lives forever. This little card, I mean, I'm hot here fanning myself, but this card was in my purse, and it's a painting done by my brother, and it's called Three Brothers, and inside the face is three images, one person, and then it'll appear to be two people. And he did that painting, and it's just, I've never seen anything like it. I carry him with me. I think about him. My daughter's name, Chris. I guess I made my life to where I would always have him near me, you know. And Mom did that, with Dad for us. You know, we don't have to work for anybody. We work to take care of ourselves and our people. And it's no fun without your people. You know, that's what makes the meaning.
You know, through your art, I was drawn to your art because of the way that you depicted Native women in it. And I saw myself in the paintings. And I remember there's one painting that you have of this really badass Native lawyer, probably someone that you know, but I was like, I want to emulate that in myself. Like what I'm getting from this painting, I want to be that. Oh, and I bought that painting. I've a print of it. And then I bought a couple of other of your paintings that are hanging up in my house. And you also included a card that came with one of your Warrior Women bags that explained the meaning behind your Warrior Woman painting. And I was so just like impressed by the intentionality behind that. And now I realize that has really come from your mom and
my sister
was shared, you know, through the family. And then when Chris passed and when Lisa was diagnosed with HIV and neither of them at that time, you know, would be able to have kids, that's when you had Christy and you named her after Chris, and you had Leeson, named him after Lisa, your sister. And I want to talk about Lisa for a second because I love Lisa, and she has been such an inspiration in Indian country and just across the nation to people who have been diagnosed with HIV or AIDS during the time where it was taboo to talk about it.
She is so brave.
Oh my gosh, she's so brave. I don't know if I would have been able to do what she did at that time, getting in front of on national television, on the news, talking about HIV and going to all these universities, doing speeches. And if you go on YouTube, type up Lisa Tiger, and she's got like so many things where she's just been so brave of being outward facing, educating about this disease. And so Lisa, she's been your rock. Can you talk about her a little bit and how she's doing?
From now till the cows come home. In fact, Lisa's my memory. Lisa, what I don't remember, I'll ask Lisa, and then I like to hear her tell us. Remember we were in Santa Fe driving, and Lisa was telling the Dana Tiger stories that should be left in the somewhere else. But she is such a good storyteller. And she got her master's in creative writing at IAIA. My mom would be and is so happy. You know, Mom wrote a book about Dad. Lisa's got all that information. She is hilarious.
She's so funny. She likes to out Dana.
Oh, I know, but I like to be outed because I have no shame. Except now I've got kids, so I guess I have to reel it in just a little bit. Yeah, Lisa is awesome. She and I both got Parkinson's at the same damn time. She had HIV and AIDS, and then I had Christy, and then I had Lisa in 95, and I noticed at that time that I wasn't walking right. And so it was like another 4 years until Wilma Mankiller, chief of the Cherokee Nation, of course, she was our friend, and she's the one who helped Lisa when she went on a press conference when Lisa announced to the world that she had HIV. So Wilma, always there to help in our lives, said, you need to go check it out. What's the matter with you? Because I was just trying to ignore this weirdness of my body for a long time. And so for 4 years, I just pretended like it wasn't there, did my best. But then I got diagnosed with Parkinson's, and Lisa had the same stuff, and she got diagnosed with Parkinson's. They thought hers was age-related, but it's, Parkinson's. But damn, she is tough. She's doing jujitsu now. She's been exercising every single day for how many years? Gosh, 20 years or something. And she looks like she's a teenager. Her body is so strong and powerful. But yet we can't walk at certain times, and we can't be still, and our legs shake. I mean, we do okay.
We don't let it stop you.
Nuh-uh. I mean, when I can't walk and I can't think, I just lay down and wait till I can.
Do you have people around you to help you get around?
Yeah.
And we all went to Santa Fe Indian Market together and were able to get around just fine.
Yeah, we stay with Lisa at her house. She's she got the beautiful backyard. And she's an artist too. That Lisa Tiger can sew the most beautiful skirts.
Yeah, so Lisa did end up being able to have a kid of her own, Cricket Tiger,
yes.
who's a true angel.
Yes.
I love her.
Going to Stanford.
I want to be friends with her.
You are going to be sisters. You are.
She's awesome. And I mean, I'm glad that, Cricket's AIDS-free.
Lisa knows things. Lisa saved her own life by going against the doctors who said, take the AIDS drugs or you'll die. She says, if I take the AIDS drugs, I will die. So what's the difference? And so she didn't take them. And all the people that took those AIDS drugs back in the day, they're gone. And Lisa still remains.
Follows her intuition.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. She's like a seer or something, in our language, Geetha, to know. I think of her as that.
Such a powerful family story. What was it like when you first saw the film? Or what did you expect, I guess? And what was it like when you first saw it?
I was scared. I was.
Yeah?
I don't know how it happened, but you made it come together just in a way that's good. Because I worry about myself sometimes because I'm really quite crazy. But there's certain thing that's happened in my life that you were able to put it together in a way that is perfect. The story needs to be told because we lived through that and we are still living through that. And it's stuff that can help and has helped other people. And that's what it's about. You want everybody to be able to live truthfully and in the best way they can. And I've come up a million things I've done that weren't living the best way I could. But, when others share the inspiration, the women that I painted, I wasn't painting myself at the time. I was painting what I saw as the power of women. That helped me in the long run to realize, our strength is within. And it's this world that brings the guns and brings the alcohol and the this and the that comes into your life and messes things up. But if you live true, I mean, the ancestors, that's why going back to the homeland, that's the answers. That's my answers. And bringing it back here, those answers, they're from the beginning of time forever. Truth. Gotcha. I mean, it's truth in Muscogee. And then Reservation Dog Show that believe, Akasamga, where that guy, I believe, on my Facebook, I've got believe, love, truth, those three things. Akasamga, Anogechga, Facha, believe, love, truth. That's our story. And you brought it to the people, and you're going to stay and keep telling it.
Yeah, Dana was a star in Reservation Dogs. What episode is it again?
I didn't say a word, but I sang. Yeah, Mabel. So Rolling Stones named it one of the top 100 TV shows of all time.
One of the top 100 TV episodes of TV of all time.
Yeah. What did I say?
Yeah. Well, it's the number one show on many.
Yeah.
By many reviews, many publications. Number one in my heart, for sure. They were Emmy nominated for Best Comedy the other night.
So much goes into every one of those. It's like love, believe, love, truth, just there, all by everybody. It wasn't just one person. It was Sterling bringing in everybody to nurture that.
Yeah, and it really, creating a set like that really comes from the top. And he set those intentions to include as many Indigenous people as possible, and also giving them opportunity to step into roles that they had never been in before. And that's how, I went from production assistant in the office to background casting director, which is a department head role. And then I'm able to work with the directors and have a bit more autonomy in the work that I was doing. But whenever I first saw photos of the set, I started crying because they had asked all the crew to send photos of your families. And I had sent photos of my grandma and grandpa and my aunts and uncles. And they had put a photo of my grandma and grandpa really big above Mabel's bed. And then they put a ton of smaller photos of my aunt and family members in the collage that's on the left side of the bed. And then all in the kitchen where there's that photo collage there. And it was almost like a moment that you didn't realize you would be crying about, but more of like, wow, so powerful that my family is represented on the set, my grandma and grandpa, and they, are probably looking down, really proud of this moment. They would have never even guessed that this would have ever been a thing for us. Every crew member, there was so much intentionality, and especially in those sets, in the writing, in the acting, all of that. But I'm just glad that it brought us together, and it brought so many community members together through that show. And I hope it just continues.
It will.
Yeah.
Hopefully at the center of the universe.
Yeah. The Tiger Art Gallery.
Well, the field next to the Tiger Art.
Yeah. Back to the film, the other day, I was talking to someone about it and thinking that it makes me miss Chris. And I never even met Chris. The way that we paint who he was. And I'm like, man, I really wish, I could have met him, that he could have been in our lives. And I think that a lot of people will be able to connect and relate to your story. And like you said, be able to learn from it and feel seen in it, And I think something that I really didn't want to focus too much on was the tragedy and the trauma. And it's really important that we find positive things in our stories and that we show the joy and the success. And your family has both. And so I'm really proud of the way that it turned out. My collaborators are amazing. My editors, Amanda Moy and Eva Dubovoy, Robert Hunter, the cinematographer, the composer, Trevor Kowalski. Just want to give all of you guys shout out. Andrew Francis, who is the colorist. We got together an all-star team to make this film. So I'm really excited for us to bring it to the community.
Me too. I told the family, I said, it's me throughout the film, which they know, but I said, so you all are going to have to go do all the interviews. I've done my part. So they're a bunch of hermits. They never want to get out. They've got to get out sometime.
They will. They will. And I want to talk a little bit about your other project that you've been working on that'll be coming out around the same time as the film. And it's a book that you illustrated of Joy Harjo's.
Wow. I mean, I've always worshiped, loved Joy Harjo before I even knew her. I just thought, wow, how is a human being able to do all the stuff that she does? And be in front of people doing it, singing, playing saxophone, knowing all that, how to speak that way in poetry. We love each other. Well, we're related, as a matter of fact. She and I both love to dance. We're wild. Or I know I am very wild on the dance floor. People, my daughter cringes, and I have my own style of dance. But Joy and I love to dance. I even painted a painting called Dancing Horses, and I think of that as me and Joy dancing.
What about the Joy Harjo dance party?
Oh, gosh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, I painted that, too. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. So she asked me if I illustrate her book, Washing My Mother's Body. And I painted, it was a prayer. My God. I knew this was going to be the biggest thing. I mean, so powerful, so important. There's this ritual I did at the gallery. It's pretty amazing. I won't talk all about it today, but I ended up painting this painting. I ended up calling it Most Valuable Power. And in it is everything. Everything is in this painting. And it began with that poem of hers. And it's about her mother. It's about my mother. It's about your mother. It's about you. It's about our daughters. It's about our sons. And it's got everything in there. My prayer was to be able to do her words justice, and I think I did. This is the thing that makes me happier. I mean, of everything that I've done, this is it, besides having my kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that is like the power duo. A Joy Harjo book illustrated by Dana Tiger. They autographed 2,000 copies of the book
to go to the independent bookstores.
Yeah, I'm just so excited for the release of this. We don't know when yet. Probably sometime in 2025, early 2025.
Early, yeah, before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Or by Mother's Day.
I'm excited to get to talk to Joy about it, and your collaboration with Joy is really special.
That painting, I might as well tell you now, I had to quit painting, and I thought it was going to be my last painting. It took so much out of me, but gave so much and had so much power. It radiated power, and it scared me because there's so much to that story of birth and mothers and what all's happened, and the good, the bad, the horror, the beauty. It's all in there. And it was almost too much, but I have continued to paint on other things. So that was my cue to stop where I was. And you are instructed, what you're supposed to do. You can't sell it for a penny less either.
44 million, 444 million? Or what is it?
44,400,000. Or
yep,
nothing.
Not a penny less.
Not a penny less. We could take care of some gallery that way, huh?
Yeah. And that's the scary thing about being an artist. And, I believe that the things that we create have a spirit. And these films and paintings and other things that are channeled through our bodies are from beyond us. And if we don't act on our ideas, then someone else is going to do it.
Well, that's good too. I mean, if you're acting on your ideas and they're good ones, you're thrilled when someone else acts on it. But it goes as it's supposed to go. I could have been this, I could have been that, but I wasn't ready to be this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a lawyer. Timing. I wanted to be this, but I wasn't supposed to be a lawyer. I was supposed to do exactly as I went and did. I've led myself, or was led, to this spot. Here I'm sitting with you, happier than I've ever been. And, we take everybody with us. Your grandparents, they're with us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty.
And I feel like Chris and Uncle have been with us.
Oh, God,
they visit me.
Uncle was the craziest human on the planet. I might be number 2. But I try to hold it, you don't want to overpower and scare people away.
Yeah. You got to hold it back a little bit. Reel it in, Dana.
Yeah, I know it. I just want to let everybody know that I'm not good with money. Legacy, our organization, Legacy Cultural Learning Community, that we formed back when, just after I learned that I had Parkinson's. We would have camps out in the woods and bring in fluent language speakers, Cherokee and Muscogee, and we do stuff out in the woods, natural stuff. I'm a nature woman. You know that.
Oh, yeah. Crawling around naked outside.
Oh, yeah. My family's always trying to get me to put my clothes on. It's all about using your art to create and share that with the community, letting them know what is their talents and giving them the space and the opportunity to showcase that, to create whatever their talent. Because Sam Proctor used to tell, he's a medicine person of our tribe, everybody's got a talent, just got to find it and utilize it, and nurture it. And that's what Legacy Cultural Learning Community, or Not Families nonprofit, just taking care of each other, taking care of our ways, because there's so much strength and knowledge that can keep us going in the right direction through those ways.
If people want to support your nonprofit, how can they donate? How can they support?
They can buy art from the Tiger Art Gallery website, because it all goes into the Legacy Cultural Learning Community, and we take care of that gallery space, and we have programs. We collaborate with other artists in our area, and we garden. We grow medicines, and so we just got to nurture that spot, and so we can offer it to everyone that wants to learn.
And you recorded Woodco Long's singing.
Yeah, I'm a music producer.
Yeah, and you're selling some CDs of his incredible singing, which we were able to include one of the songs in the film. Well, it was a song that Muscogee Creek people sung on the Trail of Tears. It was about two sisters missing each other. And so whenever I heard him say that and heard that song, I knew it was perfect for the film, because I thought about you and Lisa and Chris. And so the way that we were able to include that and weave it into the story, I felt was very meaningful. And Woodco loves the film, and I love that, he was able to be part of it, so you could purchase a CD as well. So yeah, you guys are doing a lot. So thank you, Dana, for your time. I'm so glad that we got to feature you on this podcast.
I'm sorry I had to sweat so much. You're sweating. You don't have a bead of sweat on you.
That's okay. You're working hard over there.